Welcome to had6 channel. In this video, we will look into disconsolate. 19 adjectives with similar meanings will be reviewed in example sentences. Let's get started. Number 1. Dismal, which means of a person or their mood gloomy. Dismal. For example, he had a dismal look in his eyes. Number 2. Melancholy, which means having a feeling of melancholy. Melancholy. For example, Mozart's exquisitely melancholy clarinet concerto. Number 3. Dejected, which means sad and depressed. Dejected. For example, he looked so dejected that Alice began to have second thoughts. Number 4. Crestfallen, which means sad and disappointed. Crestfallen. For example, he came back empty-handed and crestfallen. Number 5. Heartbroken, which means suffering from overwhelming distress. Heartbroken. For example, I was heartbroken at his death. Number 6. Depressed, which means of a person in a state of unhappiness or despondency. Depressed. For example, he turned to whiskey because he felt lonely and depressed. Number 7. Glum, which means looking or feeling dejected. Glum. For example, Kenneth looked glum and resentful. Number 8. Despondent, which means in low spirits from loss of hope or courage. Despondent. For example, she grew more and more despondent. Number 9. Doleful, which means expressing sorrow. Doleful. For example, she regarded him with doleful eyes. Number 10. Downcast, which means of a person feeling despondent. Downcast. For example, Morgan was understandably downcast following Scotland's defeat. Number 11. Dolorous, which means feeling or expressing great sorrow or distress. Dolorous. For example, a dolorous sigh. Number 12. Unhappy, which means not happy. Unhappy. For example, An unhappy marriage. Number 13. Forlorn, which means pitifully sad and abandoned or lonely. Forlorn. For example, forlorn figures at bus stops. Number 14. Wretched, which means of a person in a very unhappy or unfortunate state. Wretched. For example, I felt so wretched because I thought I might never see you again. Number 15. Sad, which means unhappy. Sad. For example, I was sad and subdued. Number 16. Miserable, which means of a person wretchedly unhappy or uncomfortable. Miserable. For example, their happiness made Anne feel even more miserable. Number 17. Downhearted, which means discouraged. Downhearted. For example, Sterling was obviously downhearted, but he did not show it. Number 18. Desolate, which means feeling or showing great unhappiness or loneliness. Desolate. For example, I suddenly felt desolate and bereft. Number 19. Gloomy, which means causing or feeling depression or despondency. Gloomy. For example, gloomy forecasts about the economy. If you have better examples in mind, please share them in the comment section below. Also, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.